Yo, family, what's good? And welcome back to another daily crypto live stream. This stream will be again predominantly focusing on Casper, which I'm sure you all will appreciate more. We have got quite a few insightful posts for today. We've heard some posts coming from Tom Polinsky himself in regards to his vision and goal for Casper, and ultimately that Casper is ahead of its time, and it's because of that that nobody truly understands it and why adoption has become very lackluster. But its takeover is still deemed as inevitable. We'll get to that in this stream, alongside some further information and sources coming from the KII, regarding them connecting and showcasing and, showing off Casper to their big corporate clients like State Grid Corporation of China, a 540 plus billion dollar company, the biggest company in China and top 3 in Fortune 500 global, alongside some macro and fundamental, and equally the possibility that the government shutdown could be ending very soon, which would be a big deal. All of that and more to get through in today's stream. So family, once more, if you enjoy the content, doing it as frequently as I can. Used to be daily. It's been tough recently, but either way, still here as much as I can be. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. Turn on that post notification bell as well so you do not miss out on the times I do go live. And if you want to wear, also posted a Casper video on my channel earlier today, which I won't really address much in this stream. It was talking about the connection between Visa and Casper and the fact that Visa and Tangent have released Tangent Pay on the Polygon network. But for me, that is just a placeholder for them to eventually choose the superior chain, which of course in my belief is Casper again. We'll talk about it a little bit later on. But that being said, family, welcome back once more. We have Dung Knight first here, brother. Welcome back, my man. Johnny Taco Outdoors, hello to you too, bro. We see Blue Bullet, yes, you were second. Welcome back, man. Devious Me, good to see you again, brother. And you too, Brett, good evening, brother. And Wing Hong, you can't talk. Sorry to hear that, bro. At least you're still here. Welcome back, my man. And we have not mooned yet. You know we haven't, but we could be seeing, again, that change soon enough. Although, based on sources that I have read through, I think there's a possibility we could see Bitcoin make that move towards 98K again. Very, very possibly. We'll have to wait and see. I think the market has still become very over leveraged. People are still very unsure. FUD's still very high. The government shutdown could act as a likely catalyst. We have to wait and see. But I think Bitcoin at this level right now, it could go either way. Again, my stance still stands. If we go below 98K, I'm going to probably de-risk a little bit, hold some stable coins, but I don't believe the cycle's over just yet, not by a long shot. And I still think 116K Bitcoin is where we need to break above before we start seeing that next leg up absolutely confirmed. We've still got all of the bullish catalysts to look out for, though, regarding altcoin ETFs, increased institutional adoption, the M2 money supply still going up higher and higher. We've got the incoming regulatory frameworks are all going to be playing a critical part and a catalyst towards increased FOMO and adoption. Of course, though, the main concern, and frankly, rightly so, the main and only concern has been regarding the Fed. The Fed right now are unfortunately the gatekeepers to our crypto bull run. So that's what we're going to start off with for today's stream. So to start off with, apparently to the surprise of many senators or sources from Eleanor Terrett, they didn't think that the passing of the bill to end this government shutdown would go through as quickly as it did, but it went through extremely quickly. The Senate had passed the amended appropriations bill, to reopen the government. The bill now heads to the House and the Senate will be out for the rest of the week. So I've heard news that apparently we could be hearing the end of the government shutdown potentially today. Maybe if not today, very, very soon. A lot of sources say it's going to be happening at some point this week, provided it does pass through the final hurdles, if you will, which would be a very, very big deal. Now, as I mentioned to my VIPs earlier, to gloss over it just a little bit, what we are currently anticipating and what we need to look out for again is this government shutdown and ultimately what macro data will follow from it. Of course, if it's bearish, you'll see the Fed end up being more dovish, and that would, result in a high possibility of rate cuts, vice versa. We end up seeing the possibility of rate cuts dwindle, which could put a massive hurdle in the way of our crypto bull run. But the fact that the government shutdown is seemingly close to an end is reassuring. Trump says he thinks the House will vote positively today and end the shutdown very, very soon. Prediction markets have currently got it at 95-99% chance we'll see it very, very soon. Some are saying 96%, 95% chance happening by November 15th. So again, we are extremely close to seeing the end, which would be a big, big deal. However, again, despite all the still very bullish catalysts to come out, the Fed are our gatekeepers. I'm not going to go through this whole document here. I'll link it in my Discord community, my free server. So by all means, go check the link down below in the description. But this article here from Zero Hedge basically talks about how quantitative easing is coming, the 2008 rules of Fed dominance. Again, to just kind of gloss over this article here, it talks about how regulatory implications and policies significantly changed overnight because of the financial crisis back in 2008. And since then, the Fed went from being deemed as the last resort to save the economy to effectively the only resort. Back then, the Fed was seen as the last line of defense. And now what the Fed does has so much impact on the financial economies that if they are acting in the hawkish dynamic they're acting right now, the markets hate it. It didn't used to be like this before the financial crisis. So knowingly or unknowingly, post-financial crisis rules and regulations have kneecapped many of the old private market liquidity providers. Without their capital and balance sheets, the Fed has become the primary source of market liquidity, to which, consider the following quote from Jerome Powell in 2021. In a stress scenario today, the Fed is the only entity with the balance sheet to absorb the shock. Back in the old days, you had multiple different entities who could also help become a sort of last resort or bailout, if you will. Now it is literally only the Fed that can do so. And unfortunately, the Fed, how were caught off guard with the COVID pandemic, and we saw that reacted very, very poorly, where the Fed therefore grossly oversupplied the market for liquidity, and we're still dealing with the consequences from that now. And now we have realized the Fed's reverse repo, their balance sheet, has reached a critical level where it's extremely small. So in the view of Zero Hedge and in the view of many now, quantitative easing, QE, effectively money printing, is just another another policy to move increased bank reserves is imminent. So we're gonna be seeing the end of quantitative tightening, so QT December 1st, which is about 2 to 3 weeks from now, which is good, very, very good. There is a lot of information coming out, speculation, still because nothing's confirmed, that we'll see QE either happen immediately or follow very, very shortly afterwards, because right now the US economy is in a crisis, which is why what we need to see with the government shutdown hopefully finally coming to an end is that macro data coming out that will hopefully lend a hand to the Fed, giving them some clarity on where the economy currently is, and therefore letting them know that we're currently in a worse situation than anticipated, and their hawkish stance was unjustified, and therefore we see some more rate cuts and potentially acceleration of quantitative easing. That is the ideal goal. In the worst case scenario, of course, that would be the Fed becomes too hawkish, kind of market ends, we go into a bit of a bearish phase. It's all very, very possible. It does heavily depend. Again, unfortunately, despite all the bullish catalysts, again, liquidity, global liquidity, empty money supply, the ETF filings, the increased adoption from institutions regarding blockchain technology and altcoins and everything else as well. If the Fed decide they don't want to play ball, there's not really much in regard to liquidity coming to the markets, because institutions also listen to the Fed as well. Retail, we just follow where the money is, but there's no money left in retail. So right now, the driver of the market is those institutions. If the institutions don't feel comfortable because the Fed are holding strong, they're not going to get involved. So we could still, it's still, very much in the balance right now, depending what the Fed does. For me, there are 3 scenarios that play out on my head. The best scenario for me actually is the longevity one. The 3 scenarios is Fed becomes way too hawkish, data supports a more hawkish stance, betas hold strong, investors don't like it, market goes through a bearish phase for however long it may be. The next scenario is the one I mentioned first, which is the data comes through a lot worse than expected. Therefore, the Fed have got to be more dovish to inject liquidity into the economy, which would be very, very good. And that'd be more good for an immediate price move as well. But for me, the best outcome, and it's because of my bias, I wanted Casper to do well, is a delayed one where the Fed are a little dovish, but not too much so, which I think Jerome Powell's going to do anyways. Okay, sure. And with this, Jerome Powell and the Fed will end up doing that, and therefore there'll be solid dovish. Therefore, it will kind of lead towards a more extended cycle, if you will. If the Fed are still indicating they're going to act dovish, but just not, massive pump of liquidity, the markets will react positively, but again, still kind of laid back. There's my three scenarios, basically. One is for bear market, one is for short term, one is for long term pumps. I'm hopeful, and honestly, I'm more likely it's going to be in the long term because the Fed are very rarely going to be like, yes, pump, pump, pump. They always try to withhold a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see. But that is the very long and short or summary of the current macro stance of the economy. Government shutdown coming to an end is good. And we'll see, hopefully, this come to fruition with the Fed. Hopefully playing ball soon. Again, I'll leave the information down below in my Discord server even. So check out the Discord community down below in the description. That being said, though, we have got some very important posts to cover for today in regards to Casper and some other crypto posts as well. But before I do, to get some questions real quickly, Andy A, welcome back. Got 30 more Casper. Big up to you. I'd love to hear that. I actually screwed up some Casper myself last night. And I just put a little bit in, just like a small, I think of 50 quid. Just I thought, why not? It's an extra 1,000 Casper scooped up. And I mean, it's gone down a bit more from then as well. So I'm like, okay, well, I could scoop another bit more if I want to keep DCA in that bag. I mean, might as well right now. My Casper's only valued at 4.9 cents, currently down 0.67%. I think Casper again is going to have that recovery rally, as most altcoins will do when the time, of course, is right. I mean, I clicked to talk, but YouTube bounced me. Oh, okay. Well, at least you're here now, Wing Hong. At least it's now working. Welcome back, Wyatt. Bro, you're doing very, very well. Waiting for global adoption. It will happen in due time. I still very much believe so. Welcome back, Dimitar. Casper will not face us. You know it. You know it will. Don't hold your breath. Let's work on Bitcoin first. Bitcoin won't reach that. I mean, okay. Bitcoin will get global adoption because it's the biggest asset and institutions will just hedge into it. But the level of adoption in regards to actual utility and use case, Bitcoin will never get that. It's too slow. It's too slow. And actually that was spoken about from some Polinsky here as well. We'll get to this post later on as well. One more reason Bitcoin development is more stagnant than ever became boring and uninspiring to root for. So why are you going to go into Bitcoin? There's nothing about Bitcoin besides it just being the biggest asset. People don't care to use Bitcoin, besides those who front it, but they're actually talking about Lightning Network, not about Bitcoin itself. It's too early. It's too ahead of its time. We'll get to that post in a moment. But also, yes, because they're dumb, I guess. The average person cannot understand Casper, hence they won't buy. Also a very fair point. Welcome back, Greg. Boy, you're doing very, very well. Is the Bitcoin changed its name to Lightning or something like that? No, Bitcoin hasn't changed its name, but the idea of sending money or transactions with Bitcoin doesn't really happen. It's people who say, I transact in Bitcoin. What they actually mean is I use the Lightning Network, which is not Bitcoin. But they don't make that distinction either. Being early gets you killed in battle. Being early is horrible. Yes, there's actually a study or even a research paper from one of my premium insights that I showed to my VIPs months back, which spoke about how many institutions, they don't want to be first because it's always a big risk being first, but they do always want to be second. That's why adoption and innovation has taken such a long time in crypto, because nobody wants to make that first step. Now BlackRock and other institutions have made that first step. Now everyone's trying to rush to become second. Again, these are partnering with Tangent, making Tangent pay. That is a key indicator of that. One of the first, I think, TradFi big payment providers partnering with a supply wallet, crypto custody wallet is quite a big deal. So again, we'll see that continue from this point onwards, I'm sure, as well. Welcome back, LB. You're doing very, very well. I don't think you're late at all, actually. We only just started about 50 minutes ago, so still here very, very early. Big Coswell up here. Welcome back, baby daddy. You're doing very, very well. Very sexy mofo. Indeed, brother. Indeed. Markets dumping right now. Yes, I bet with a goat. Markets are not doing very well right now. It is due to, I can list a number of reasons as to why. One, in all honesty, I think it's because XRP is going to likely be getting its first ETF filing later today / tomorrow from Canary Capital, its first spot XRP ETF. And whether you like XRP or not, there is seemingly quite a lot of institutional demand for this asset. So it wouldn't surprise me if this dumping was by design, manipulating it so they can get cheaper XRP. Additionally and equally, the government shutdown could also be an element to that, knowing that it might be coming to an end. It's just pricing in, hopefully for a more dovish Fed, more bullish nature going forward, less uncertainty, if you will, and more FOMO. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I did actually, in my video that I posted earlier regarding Casper, did showcase one of my premium insights regarding Visa, as it felt fitting. And in that, it spoke about how we are seeing that FOMO accelerate very, very quickly. Apparently, I think it was 28% of surveyed basically said they have got a lot of extreme FOMO for crypto, which doesn't sound like a lot, 28%, but when you do the maths and you think about, for example, the total population of America, United States, is, I think it was 340 billion people. 28% of that is 95 billion, not billion, sorry, million. 340 million people. So 28% of that is 95 million. So you've got 95 million US Americans who FOMO into crypto, or will be FOMOing into crypto. That is quite significant. And you do the global population, which is over 8 billion, let's just say 8 billion, 20% of that is 2.24, 2.25 billion. So again, 20% actually in the grand scheme of things is a lot of people. And they want to FOMO into crypto. So we are early. Crypto's transitioning from that niche into a mainstream asset class. And we're going to see FOMO coming in very, very soon. And I did see his comments. Thank you very much, Greg and Wing Hong. I don't think, no, I've not been hitting any gem recently. I did do some work over the weekend with some other jobs that I tend to do, which required a lot of lifting and labor work. So you might just see my body still coming off the back of that. Gosh, it was knackering. Literally, the Sunday that I couldn't go live, I was up at 5:20 a.m. Went into central London for about 7, which is quite a trek for me. And then I was literally just lifting, doing, lifting labor work till about 11 p.m. Yeah, very, very long days, can't lie, but it was worth the money. So I can get more Casper, that's why I scooped up some yesterday. Did a Bitcoin pump 300% after the last government shutdown ended? Can someone confirm? Government shutdown ended, I think, in 2019. It started December 2018 and ended 2019. So we're looking about here then. I believe it'll be around here. So yeah, you would be accurate in saying that, brother. This would be the pump right here, effectively. Because the government shutdown would have started December, to my knowledge, so around here. And then it would have come down with 35 days. And then I think it ended around here. So it would have been, about a 300% pump. That's what you're looking at right now. So yeah, that's effectively what happened. And then, of course, you had the bear cycle still. And then it had that massive blow-off top run in early 2021. No, not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's the lighting, I promise you. There's nothing there. It's just the lighting. Welcome back, Ghostly Brush. Doing very, very well. Keep up the grind, but I'd love to hear you keep working, my man. Very inspiring indeed. Not much work, crypto work, but you know how it goes. Either way, keep up the grind, brother. I'd love to hear it. Is Casper still good for this bull run? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. It's tough to say. Right now, nothing is good for the bull run besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I could argue XRP, Solana, and those ones. The only assets been pumping recently are the Dino coins. If I go to, would I go to trending? No, I wouldn't go to trending. Screw trending. Let's go to the top performing the last 7 days. Soon, never actually heard of Soon. Filecoin, FET, Uni, AB, NEAR, ICP. So a lot of kind of AI related protocols, or these privacy tokens / dinosaur coins are the ones that are doing very, very well right now. Not surprising. It's just kind of how it's going right now. It depends on, again, the Fed. If the Fed are in a much more bullish stance, then we'll start seeing we'll start seeing the markets come back, and Casper, I think, will do very well. I think most will do very well, even those that are actually secretly worrying. So, in case you are unaware, Bybit Exchange recently revealed a major warning. They did a review of 166 blockchain networks, which includes Casper, as you can see here. And in this review, they came to the verdict and realization that out of these 166, 16 of them, which is basically 10%, have freeze fund capabilities, and another 19, so that would total to a potential 21% of all these exchanges here. 21% of crypto exchanges have the possibility to freeze your funds. And here are the list of them right now. BNB being one of them is crazy. VeChain's there, XDC is there, Sui. We already saw Sui happen. I think it was either earlier this year or late last year where you saw there was that hack that took place. And Sui basically froze the funds. So it was for security reasons, but the fact they can do that is not reassuring. Therefore, it's a concern because it means that if Sui decided that, they wanted to at any moment, they could just freeze your funds. You have to basically, you're giving a lot of faith and trust into a small team of developers that they're not going to act in bad faith and be greedy and freeze your funds and take them from you. So Sui can do that. There are many, many more here. Aptos can do that as well. And then those who could potentially freeze them are the likes of Atom, Babylon, Celestia, DYDX, EVMOS. You've got Luna, Mantra, you've got OKB, Say, Rune, and so on and so forth. So they don't have the ability to do it right now, but they could easily do that. So this is, for me, again, quite sickening and quite concerning. At a moment's notice, these protocols have or can have the freezing mechanisms to lock you out of your funds, which is why you need to be very careful in regards to who you follow, what you hold, where you hold it. And just wanted to make a note, of course, that Casper is not on that list. It was analyzed alongside Ethereum, Injective, Solana, Litecoin. But like those as well, Casper did not contribute to a protocol that would have the capabilities to freeze your funds, which is not surprising at all, to be honest. But that is, again, even I just wanted to make that point segueing into it. But even then, I still believe these assets, the VeChains, the Sui's, they will still perform well this cycle because you've got VCs pumping the projects. Sui's come down to $1.97 right now, which is actually near where my entry was. I am fully out of Sui now. I got out of Sui a little while back. I do plan to scoop some more up just because of a potential hedge, I imagine, because it's probably still do very well. But I think Sui again has its pump, it's come back down. Everything right now is doing terribly, so I won't be really taking too much note of Casper's doing terrible noise again today because Sui is down 63%. Casper's down more, agreeably, like 76, 77% from all-time highs, but Sui is equally down over 60. Ondu is not doing too great. I need to get the actual Ondu chart though, not this one. Ondu is equally down quite significantly. We can see from its all-time high, Ondu is down about 70% as well. Virtuals is down very significantly as well. So it's not just Casper, it's literally an indication that all alts are just struggling. Nothing is safe right now. Once an altcoin rally returns, then there might be a different story, but until then, it's really just it's a guessing game. Although, as you do your research, you can kind of have a better idea of when this kind of shift will take place, But again, we'll wait and see that. I'll get some Casper news in a very, very short moment. But I thought, ultimately, I do think Casper still is strong and good for this cycle. I have no worries about Casper because Casper's in the same boat as every other altcoin. So I have no worry about it. Casper as an individual project, for me, is the strongest right now. I think 4 to 10 cents is a steal. Also do I. That's why I scooped up some more last night. I might scoop some more up today. I put another 50 quid into it, honestly. Get up another 1,000 Casper would be very, very nice. Casper is the safest long-term coin after Bitcoin. I'd agree. Okay, to agree. There's a second best, and it's Casper. It's actually better than Bitcoin with speed, but Bitcoin is more rare like gold. Yeah, Bitcoin's got 21 mil supply. Casper's got 28.7 billion supply, so it is more rare. But when you think about the stock-to-flow ratio, Casper in due time will be a lot better as well. It just needs that time. Casper was a 10-year project, no company behind it, no CEO. Yeah, true. Casper did have some funding from Polychain Capital, I believe it is, which is technically Coinbase, so it did have some investments early on, but it is a community kind of funded project, and it had no VC allocation, it had no pre-mining, so yeah, Casper is by far the strongest, and I'd argue the strongest and safest project in the space right now. Real bodybuilding talk. Next up for you is pecs. Upper pec is always the key. Bicep and shoulders. Traps on point. Nice work. Dab the side delts could help. Pecs will balance it out. Keep going. I appreciate it, Greg. You know what? I'll be so for real. I do go to the gym every now and then, and I enjoy going to the gym. But a lot of my physique is just actually genetics. I'm quite blessed in that regard. I've got quite a one of my, it sounds very weird to say, one of my best features actually is my back structure. I'm not going to show it on stream before Wing Hong asks. I'm not going to do that, so don't ask. But physique speaking, I think I am quite blessed. And I just need to make sure I go to the gym to still keep it up. But yeah, I mean, I've been in better shape, but I'm still in good shape right now because I think also, you know, sound body, sound mind, if you're trying to focus on money in this kind of market, you want to make sure you're also in good shape. There's no excuse for you to, in my belief, no harms you're not, but for me, I'm like, there's no point for me to not be in good shape while also trying to get good financial shape and health as well. So that's just me though. Why are you lifting tortoise? Is that why you're being so secretive? No, baby daddy. No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Latinas go crazy, but no, I'm not lifting no tortoise. I am just, I was one word of a lie. I was working Sunday. Like, I know it's a trust me, bro, but I was like, I was just working Sunday. I was working in North Greenwich with some other company all day, and gosh, it was tiring. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. You can do whatever you feel like, PG. I have no qualms, no hate, no negative, no negativity to however you want to live your life. Just me personally, I've always been a very active person, and now that I went from an active job to a kind of sitting on my computer most of the time now, there's still no excuse to why I can't be active. So I feel like I might as well have a sound body and sound mind while doing crypto. But I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is. Now, before we get into some more questions, I'll of course keep reading on. Oh, you're 185. Okay, well, that's impressive. That's impressive. I need to actually quickly check. So I'm not 185. I do kg. I don't do pounds. So I was pretty good to check what it is in kg, which is 83. That's, you know what? That's similar to me. I think I'm probably about 190 then. I think I'm about 190. I think I'm 6'1", 190 pounds, I think. You've been on fire lately. I appreciate you, Indigenous. I do appreciate you. We'll get into a lot more of the content right here and now. What about Tau? I think Tau's a great project, AI-based. AI's going to do very, very well, coming very, very soon. Based on my sources, we'll talk about that in due time, though. Our builds are similar. Hey, we must be brothers in Secret Life, you know. Anyways, let's get into some sources real quickly. Let's get into some sources. So to start off, I'm 6 foot even. Damn, we really are the same. So to get into the sources right now, we can see Casper Daily highlights that now Casper has 699 public nodes live. We did miss the 1,000 goal by the birthday for Casper, but either way, still good to see we're seeing that increase more and more and more. The community keeps growing, and it's not just price speculation. It is built, it's infrastructure contribution. People are contributing more to the security and decentralization of Casper's community. And it looks like Flux have been an integral part of that as well. Over 300 new nodes deployed by Flux himself. Of course, you can make the argument and a valid argument that you should be doing it independently because you do it through Flux. It's technically becoming more centralized because Flux kind of the ones who are doing the nodes. And if you want to find out how to set up a node, again, join my free Discord community and ask away in the running nodes channel. And I can promise you there, someone will give you an answer. Even Casper Silver is, I think, doing tutorials and stuff and services or whatever to help you run your own nodes. So, but it is, again, it's good to see that the adoption of Casper keeps going up more and more and more. Shout out to Flux for doing some good work here as well. Now, to look into the next big sources here. So we got this post here reiterating what Rory O'Neill said in Wolfie's recent AMA a few days back, or even last week even, where he stated, amongst every other major alpha source he talked about, that they've only spoke about 3 if not 4 projects publicly out of 23 in total, which is insane. And some of these are with quite significant players. And they will be sharing more details hopefully over the next few days. And it looks like we have got some of that here to an extent. So in response to Crypto Cruise, shout out to you in regards to SCGC official State Grid. They are basically one of the biggest, if not the biggest company in China with over 1.8 million employees. According to Fortune 500 Global, it's 1.3, but either way, still over 1 million employees, absolutely huge stuff. And they're the ones who are driving the idea of connecting all power grids worldwide. The KRI actually posted some of this stuff here. Rory O'Neill right here. Didn't want to see such a tall lad here, but here's Rory O'Neill standing alongside some very, very big names. Not that I know who they are, but considering the documentation here, I can make the assumption they are probably working or with State Grid. The whole concept of the global energy interconnection internet is something our friends at SGCC, State Grid Corporation of China, have been working on for several years. And you can see the priority around energy information. Rory is KRI. Rory from KRI also pictured with former chairman of SCGG and GEI. You can see here through years of development, SGIGG has created an industrial structure of 3 sectors, 6 industries and 6 solutions here, talking about all the stuff they can end up building in the energy market. And of course, Casper is now going to become an integral part of that. The global planning for energy blockchain here across the whole world. Belarus, England, France, Spain. You've got parts of America as well. You've got Pakistan, Sri Lanka, China, Cambodia, Thailand, the Philippines. Don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm respectfully not going to. And Australia down here as well. I give you some part of the post here as well. Blockchain technology can improve the efficiency of clean energy to claim. Point-to-point smart matching is achieved by using smart contracts and electronic certification. Hence, it allows users to claim clean energy without leaving their homes and manual matching. In addition, utilization of blockchain technology could push applications to become more popular. Thus, it avoids users that suffer from geographic restrictions when they claim clean energy. In future, global users could claim cross-regional, cross-border clean energy. Again, just talking about the carbon market, and something that we've heard Rory O'Neill speak about is how Casper could target this market, a market projected to be worth $2 trillion by 2030, which is only 4 years or so away from now effectively, which is huge news. Rory being there as well. We even see here, Paul Van Sam presented the structure of the clean energy ecosystem in which he foresees a pivotal role for an information carrier that has at least solved the crypto trilemma, of course, it being Casper, ensuring a durable and fair balance of economy, environment, and well-being, ensuring system stability, trust, and accountability through secure data management and technologies, price discovery, supply management, meeting demand, trading physical energy carriers and their clean attributes, electrons, molecules, and thermal energy sources, conversations, transport, storage, and so on and so forth. All could be done through the utilization of Casper. Indeed, Paul has been advocating cheap, secure, and climate-neutral energy since 2009. So very, very short, over after the financial crisis of 2008. So be trying to find solutions to hopefully prevent this sort of stuff happening again. Recently, the subject of open market and fast, secure, and scalable information carriers has been added to his focus. We are looking forward to cooperating, working with KII, ultimately utilizing Casper in the means of scalable information carriers, doing it in a secure fashion, and while it also being decentralized and self-sovereign, which is a very, very big deal. So looks like the KII, of course, are aiming to do some significantly big work with Casper. And again, the institutions that KII and DRI are partnered with are actually the biggest in the world. It's not speculation, it's literally fact. You can see the pictures right here. Of course, again, those are still, there's still some who are speculative because they expect to see that these sort of announcements cause price movement straight away, which unfortunately is just not the reality of this market anymore, if it ever really was. I mean, back in the day, I imagine it was, when you saw a big institutions like MasterCard partnering with some other crypto project that did cause a FOMO candle. It's not the same anymore. FOMO's still about, but the hype cycle and FOMO pumps are becoming less and less relevant. What matters more is, exchange listings still cause firmer candles, but also liquidity injections cause more gradual accumulation and price rallying. It can still happen quite rapidly. It's still a very volatile and small market, but you can't expect SGCC working with KRI, therefore working with Casper, big news. Therefore, Casper's going to just do this overnight. You don't see that happen. You have to see the adoption come through gradually. You're going to see institutions start to gradually accumulate Casper. You heard the likes of SGCC talking about, or at least according to Rory O'Neill, talking with KRI, asking where can we buy Casper. That's a over $500 billion company, the largest company in China, asking where can we buy Casper. You've got PwC also doing the same thing. You got Shell, you got DHL, you got Hyundai, Bosch, Eon Energy, Siemens. You got a whole plethora of massive institutions who are working with the DRI and therefore learning more about Casper from the KII, which is great stuff. Great stuff indeed. And if we're going to quickly and kind of swiftly move on here as well. Once we now get into Casper and effectively the title of the stream being that it is just too early and it's ahead of its time. Vlad, the man who did a podcast with Sompolinsky and Casper not too long ago, to my knowledge, his most successful podcast to date. Huge deal. 7 hours long. I still have not gone through the whole thing, actually. It's just too much for me. But he's made a post here about how Zcash, $2.4 billion in 24-hour trading volume. Very big stuff then, but also Zcash suggests and states that in 24 hours, there's not 2.4 billion, but only 8,580 on-chain transactions. So Zcash is saying there's 2.4 billion, when actually it's only 8,500, which is significantly less. So the PSA should basically withdraw your ZEC from exchanges into the Zeshi app and shield it. If you're not doing this, you get no privacy, expose yourself to counterparty risk, and merely trade a stock. What you bought is more precious than you think. Protect it accordingly. It's kind of just highlighting there's some discrepancies between the data from two different platforms, which highlights a risk that either it's been manipulated or that it's just not showing the full story. So it's something to be concerned about or just a bit cautious about. Just wanted to highlight that either way, but it kind of developed on from Sompolinsky here. So Rhino K asked, how did that 7-hour conversation with Sompolinsky not turn you into a Casper maxi? And Vlad replied very honestly and very fairly, I think Casper is just too ahead of its time and will gain more appreciation as the market dynamics shift. Right now, the demand for scaling is low because we live in a multi-chain world in which centralized exchanges handle most transactions. A change will come, but it can take a few years. And I think that's a very fair and valid point, and some completely agrees here as well. But I think it's a fair point. Right now, Binance, Coinbase, Mexi, Bybit, OKX, these centralized exchanges, they dominate this market very comfortably, but by a long shot. Look at the exchanges right now. I don't even know which one's the first DEX in this list. They're all centralized. They dominate this market. It's not even close right now. And because of that, it makes it very hard for Casper to significantly gain more adoption and appreciation for the fact that it is Bitcoin, but scalable. It's significantly better. The demand for scaling right now is low, but that will change because institutions are becoming involved. And they want to be able to scale trillions of dollars, transact trillions of dollars of capital in seconds every day. To be able to handle that, you need something that can scale. And, right now, it seems the leader of that pack seems to be the XRP ledger, but that's centralized and doesn't offer the solutions that Casper can offer. So Blicky says here, 100%. Scalability is the wrong fixation. And FWIW, I know what that means. I forgot what it means. I need to look that up. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I should know what that means. FWIW. FWIW meaning it is for what it's worth. I knew that. Yeah, so for what it's worth. And for what it's worth, I don't think of Casper as scalable, even though it happens to be true. Casper is first and foremost an internet speed proof of work, and for those who believe proof of work is the most resilient mechanism to govern money, working with sub-second proof of work seems like an obvious win. A close second is the real-time aspect of decentralized mining. Slow proof of work achieves censorship resistance and the sampling of the majority over the course of hours. High-grade proof of work achieves the same properties in real time in order of internet RTT, and there is imminent consequences to the ability to sample the majority in real time, especially in a multi-chain world. So the TLDR Scalability right now, and frankly in general, is just boring. It's a big deal, but it's boring. No one cares about it. And we, read others, should work towards upgrading from 10 to 100 block per second. So Soplinsky even now still saying 10 bps is cool and scaling's boring. So let's just make it more exciting. Let's get to 100 bps. Why not? He still wants to do it even now. Soplinsky's mentor, Viv Zohar, said that you only need 10. He still wants to do 100. And frankly speaking, I'd argue you probably do need 100 right now. If you think about the possibility that Casper is going to become this potential infrastructure layer for the entire blockchain world going forward, 10 bps is very, very impressive. But does it handle full-scale real-world adoption? I don't think so. It's incredibly quick, but does it handle that sort of adoption? I don't think so. I think 100 bps, so it going from, I think it was 158 million was its peak of just test transactions. Times that by 10, you're looking at 1,580,000,000 transactions taking place in a day for Casper. That, I mean, again, that's just theoretical numbers, but that would be a lot more realistic to real world adoption use case. And nothing can scale to that sort of level. Nothing in the crypto space, not even close to that. Even 10 bps is significantly faster than everything else anyway. So that would be a very, very big deal. Then to move on from that here as well, again, a post regarding Zcash here. Somebody said again as well, one more reason. Bitcoin development is more stagnant than ever, became boring and uninspiring to root for. Crypto blood looking for hardcore communities with more productive energy. Zcash is doing a great job filling that void. A lot to learn from that. Just talking about again how Zcash right now is doing decent, is going up some value. It's also again, it's showing more productive energy, which is people care about. Of course, price actually being a big part of that as well. But Bitcoin, while still being the messiah, the grandfather of crypto, is just boring. Nothing happens for it anymore. It's a stagnant store of value. It's not perfect. Those who believe Bitcoin's perfect, you're unfortunately ignorant because it's not scalable enough. It's not perfect. If it's a perfect form of money, then if it was a perfect form of money, the other cryptos would not be a thing. There would not be a reason for them to be here if it was perfect. It's not perfect. Far from it. But you're seeing other projects coming out, and while Casper is one of those speculative projects that I think is going to definitely break into the space, it's ahead of its time. And right now, the markets don't care too much about scalability and these sort of projects. I think that's going to change, and these retail don't care about it, and they may never do, but institutions do. And actually, on that note, let me see if I can find a post that talks about that sort of dynamics. I'm sure I can find something in here that talks about for my premium insight, that talks about how they are wanting to find scalability. Can I type in scalability? Will it come up, or just scale? Oh, here's one. Was that posted earlier today? I think it was. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's talking about AI agents, but it could still work just the same thing. This is from Deloitte, one of the top 4 accounting firms, similar to PwC and KPMG and Ernst & Young. So Deloitte here, hot topics for technology and digital risk 2026. This document again goes into a lot of detail, ultimately just highlighting the number of risks from cyber attacks, the global supply chain vulnerabilities, and uncertainties regarding the evolving regulatory landscape. It's a paper just basically highlighting the concerns right now of what could come through with AI. But the long and short of the document here, again, it shows too much of it because again, it's what my VIPs get access to, and the link to the document as well. The long and short of it is the way for the banks to navigate this and succeed with the incoming risks regarding AI is to fight fire with fire and utilize AI agents. Prioritize modernizing their system, their data architecture with the use of AI agents to monitor, repair, and enrich data quality at scale. And that's just one document, but the at scale part is the main part I wanted to talk about there. But I'm sure I can find more, probably a better document that would fit that narrative more as well. Actually, this one I've spoken about already in the past, and it's already on my Twitter a little bit as well. This is from McKinsey company right here. The report here, which in this report here, in fact, no, I'll get the actual PDF up. Why not? I'll get the actual PDF up. Let me load it up right now. Need to go into my, there it is. So yeah, in this document here, it basically talks again about the market dynamics and what's happening right now. And this is quite a recent document. Well, I say recent right now. I published this I published it on the 27th of October, so about 2 weeks ago. And when I published it, it was 5 days that it got released. So late October, it was published. And this is their review talking about the tipping point right now in regards to, what we're seeing in the global banking sector. And McKinsey basically highlight that the key feature to success lies in abandoning traditional scale-driven strategies for precision and focus more so on utilizing agentic business models that could basically allow you to scale massively towards early AI pioneers. So I actually made a kind of summary post of that on my Twitter, which would be easier to read on stream as opposed to going through the in-depth technicals of that there. How far down I got to go is the big question. I don't think it was that far down, actually. Where was it? Where was it? Was it that far down? Damn. I thought actually, of course, it would be back in October, wouldn't it? So it'd be close to here. There it is. Yeah, we're at the tipping point right now. So this premium report from McKinsey & Company validates and confirms the need for decentralized high-performance infrastructure and specialized AI-focused projects. So you could argue like Casper for high-performance infrastructure and like Tau for AI, which can offer the very digital, data-driven, and decentralized solutions that banks are failing to implement and innovate with. So while, again, the premise of scalability just not being things that people care about right now, which is true, that narrative is changing. Slowly but surely it's changing. And right now, the big bucks, the big money want to find solutions that are able to scale. We are seeing the funnel coming in quicker and quicker. So I do think in that regard, therefore, Casper is still in a very strong spot, being a project that can scale in the nature in which it can do. It's one fixation, but Casper can still scale, and it is first and foremost an internet speed proof of work. And it's only going to get faster from here when it does upgrade from 10 to 100 blocks per second. So again, we're still very, very early in Casper, and I cannot wait to see what more comes from it. You're stuttering. It's okay. I live or two. No shame. I'm stuttering because it caught me off guard. But on my life, I'm not lifting no daughters. I wish, but I'm not. I promise you now. Jay, my number is 211 mph. It's my personal record on a bike 2 weeks ago on the Hayabusa. I have never done that to my knowledge. I don't think I have. I don't tend to do much, but believe it or not, my legs are actually my weakest muscle. I need to do more leg days, but I don't cycle much either. If I go gym, it's just purely just like, it'll be a push day or a pull day, stand like bench press, flies, curls, dips, like all that sort of stuff, triceps extensions, all that sort of stuff. I love the push day. Not a big fan of pull day. Leg day's non-existent, but I need to start doing that more so. But I play football, so I do get the run around still. I'm only 5'4", 147 pounds, but the ladies call me huge stuff. Oi, oi. Have you looked at Nano XNO? I think I've heard about it, and I'm not too. I don't care too much. Oh yeah, I've heard about it. I've had an individual who tried to debate and beef me on Twitter regarding Nano, just talking about how Nano is sufficiently better than Casper, and the whole standard post. Didn't really entertain it, couldn't really bother through it. I don't know too much about Nano. It's got Binance, not got Coinbase, so it's got more exchange listed than Casper. It's a micro cap, very, very small. I don't really have much more to say than it. I'm not too well versed in it. I'm not particularly bullish on Nano, personally. The way I see it did a massive surge here, and the fact it didn't surge remotely as close in the second bull run for me is a bit of a warning flag, because most projects rallied higher in their second cycle if they've been alive for that long. They've been around since 2018. The first cycle they do well, second cycle they want to do better, and Nano didn't. But who knows? In the speculation that it does return to all-time highs, that's basically a 20x from here, so that's pretty good. But will it do that? Who knows? I don't know enough about Nano at all. When the person on Twitter was trying to debate with me about it, which I didn't entertain, couldn't be bothered. The post he made just sounded very AI generated in regards to just kind of regurgitating whatever I was rebutting to with just whatever AI could spit out and meme talk at the same time. I'm like, if I'm going to debate to someone in regards to the belief in the project, I'm going to do it in a very, structured back and forth manner. I'm not going to do it in a meme sense because it's just not worth my time. Just me personally, right? I have no personal qualms with Nano. I just don't know about the project. So I don't know much about it. Welcome back, Lau. You did very, very well. Pecs and side delts, and you'll get all the chicks. True. I don't disagree with that. One thing I also know, which is why I do love triceps when I do push days. Triceps always make your arms look a lot bigger as well. So I always prioritize tries. So yeah, I do love a gym there. I need to go back again. I don't after Sunday, still aching, but I'll probably end up going back again in the next few days. Great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, having a wham figure is a dangerous thing. I remember back a few years before I started streaming, and I was like, I think a few years back when I was at uni, I used to play futsal, and just in the betterment of my own body, I'd go to gym, so I'd be, I'm already quite good technically in football, so with my feet, but just so I could be stronger because I've got the build for it, I play futsal. And I go to the gym for that. And yeah, at the time I was with my ex, so obviously I'm a good boy, so I wasn't doing nothing. But damn, uni could have been crazy. Let's just put it that way. Welcome back, Crypto Bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. Octoplus, stop bragging about your bodybuilding. I did 78 kph on a bike and I'm 60. me legs fell down the very steep hill. It's all good, Octoplus, man. Everyone has their own levels, if you will. Perfectly fine. There's no negativity or no bad feelings regarding it at all. I probably would also. I don't think I'd compete to what Ghost did remotely at all. I don't. I wish I could. I'm 5'1", 240 pounds. That's why I need Casper to Moon to buy ladies. That is crazy. I'm the oldest here. I mean, is your Octopus is either good. I mean, it's good that you're still here. Good to have you here, man. Honestly, I appreciate you being here. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Everyone's got their own levels and their own pace, and I mean, I'm sure I'm not as I am quite active because it's just something I've been doing since I was young. I've always played sport, but even then, like since I started doing this more, I don't get as much time for it. I meant to play football today actually, but my team, my mates cancelled, so it's unlucky. Who wants to be the lucky winner to send PG 10k cash giveaway? Sounds like we have an interest. Okay. For those in the States, heads, a Domino's, one large. Okay, fair enough. You have to have that plug. Fair enough. I don't eat Domino's very much anymore. I find it a bit I find Domino's a bit greasy. Personally, I prefer Pizza Hut actually. But yeah, I actually just had fish and chip before stream today for my local boss man, Millennium. Absolute insane stuff. Always go to him when I need some food, when I haven't had time to make food because I've been so busy doing this. It's not public yet, I don't believe, but it works. Hey, good to hear. Get that deal while you can, family. The Pizza Hut deal. Been since 2016. Nano dead, old Dino coin. I mean, it looks that way. I mean, again, massive surge in its first bull run. Not as big of a surge in the second bull run. It's now down to those same values again. It's still up from launch. But is it really going to do anything significant? I don't know. I don't really know much about it. Uni will go crazy with the updates, I think. That's what that thing may have legs. Sure. Yeah, now there's nothing wrong. I agree. That's the one you short to 0.00001. I mean, the thing is, yes, but at the same time, if that does pan out, would you think an exchange is going to let you exit that position, all that gains you would have made? Probably not. Welcome back, Eric. You're doing very, very well. Keep working out. I will be your cougar. Okay. I appreciate you. Dark Terrors, welcome back, brother. Pizza Hut hot take. I wonder how UK Domino's is versus USA Domino's. I'll end it right there. UK food is terrible. UK food is terrible. It is just terrible. There's nothing to brag about with UK food or the change in the UK. It is probably not as fatty as US food, but US food I guarantee will taste a lot better. Although I can guarantee for a fact if I go to the USA, I'm getting extra small portions everywhere because I know the size of portions in America to UK is also astronomical. I've had mates who've gone to USA and they get a large meal and they're like, I can't even eat the chips. Ridiculous. But I don't, yeah, I mean, UK food's nasty. I prefer that's why I love when I go abroad. I just eat food. Oh my gosh! When I went to Japan last year, the food there was amazing. And every chance I get, I try to go to any like authentic like restaurant in the UK. Like I went to a couple of weeks back. I went to like an actually authentic Ecuadorian restaurant. Oh my god, that food is insane. I saw you mention Onky the Pump video today. Are you in Ireland? As to Octoplus. If you're asking me, no, I'm not in Ireland. If you're asking Octoplus, no idea. You know what's good for you, legs? It starts with a T. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. You never know. Zcash pumped a lot. True. I mean, you can see Nano do it. Right now, the meta seems to be a lot about Dino coins, privacy tokens, and AI, so it's a possibility, but I'm not holding my breath. Although there is some Dino coins that I did tell my VIP community about that I'm looking into that I think can perform well in the coming, days or weeks. And what on roids? Hell no. Never do drugs. No, not at all. UK food may be bad, but you'll have the best chef in the world, Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, true. Still doesn't mean so. I still prefer to go abroad and eat food. I can't lie. I don't know because I don't eat that type of food personally, but I'll take your word for it, Wing Hong. You need to have a Philly cheesesteak from Philly, though. I've heard stuff about it. I'm Colombian. I'll cook better than you. You're Ecuadorian. Okay, well, good to hear, Erica. Maybe I'll take you up on that one day. But that being said, family, the last post I wanted to get into actually is regarding Zebek. Sorry, Kryptoni. I know. Zebek here. Zebek carbon cards keep expanding its global coverage. They've now doubled their USD card coverage, adding new supported countries across Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Funny how they chose Ghana to be the African flag. It is what it is. Either way, expanded access goes live Monday, so Zebek is expanding more and more, which is good to see. Very, very good to see again. Zebek continue to expand more and more. I do think big things are coming for Zebek in this cycle. Currently up 0.91%. Casper is now actually up 1%, which is good to see. It's now changed. We'll have to see where it goes from here. Again, government shutdown or developments will be very important to keep an eye on this current week, family. With that being said, though, thank you all for tuning in once more. The jokes and the laugh, as always. You guys keep up the vibes all the time. I appreciate it all very, very much. Have a great day, family. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when I go stream. If you want to find out more, tune in more, stay more locked in, check out the free Discord server down in the description. Equally, VIP. You can get access to all the alpha documentation, trade alerts, and much more. Gains we're making as well. Links down below, also in the description. You get a 7-day free trial or equally a 1-month free trial through BYDFI, our affiliate exchange. Need any help setting anything up, just reach out to me on Discord and I'll help you out where I can. That being said, family, we'll talk food another time. Have a great day, good evening, and good night, and I will see you all